Hello everyone. So in this video, we will learn how to automatically add new live webinar registrants to Google Sheets. So the idea is that if a new registrant is created for your live webinar meeting, the details of that registrant will be automatically sent to Google Sheets. But the issue here is there is no direct connection between live webinar and Google Sheets. So therefore, I will be using an integration and automation software called as Pabbly Connect that integrates live webinar and Google Sheets. The best part here is a person without any technical background can perform this integration easily. Now before I show you the steps, how about we begin with a real-time example. Okay, so this is my live webinar form and this is my Google Sheet. So the idea is that I'm going to register as a new guy. Okay, so this guy called as 𝗪𝗵𝘆 is going to register himself as a live webinar registrant. So we will check whether the details of this person, that is 𝗪𝗵𝘆, will be available in Google Sheets automatically or not. So we have a guy called as 𝗪𝗵𝘆. This is the email address, this is his address, and this is the phone number. So let me just click on register. Okay, so 𝗪𝗵𝘆 has been registered to a meeting called as COVID fourth wave precautions. So let's have a look. Let's have a look whether 𝗪𝗵𝘆 is now available in Google Sheets or not. Yes, as you can see, these are the details. We have the name, we have the email, we have the mobile number, and then we have his address. So you must be thinking, how did I do it? How did I manage to send the data from live webinar to Google Sheet? So basically here we have used an integration and automation software called as Pabbly Connect that integrates live webinar and Google Sheets. The best part here is all you have to do is build this workflow for once, and every time a new live webinar registrant is created, the data will be automatically sent to Google Sheets. So let me teach you how this is done. So in the new tab, just type pabbly.com, 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 press enter. Okay, so this is the website of pabbly.com. All you have to do is just click on sign up for free. Here you can build your own account in just 2 minutes. In my case, I have already built an account. Okay, so as you can see, this is the app section of Pabbly. Let me just scroll down, and here at the bottom you will find connect. Just click on access now. Okay, so at the top right corner you will find a button, create workflow. Click this, a dialog box appears in front of you. It is asking you to give a name to this workflow. I'm going to give it as live webinar to Google Sheets. Of course, you can give any name according to your discretion. It's totally on you. And let me just straight away click on create. So when you click on create, you will find two windows, the trigger window as well as the action window. Now in the choose app, let me just add live webinar. Live webinar it is. Okay, so now in the trigger event, how about we make it as new registrant? That is the idea. Okay, so these are the steps we have to follow. So I'm going to teach you how to create a webinar in live webinar, then create a form and then integrate that particular webinar to Pabbly Connect. So this is how you do it. So first of all, let's go to live webinar account. Okay, so this is my live webinar account. So first I'm going to create a meeting. Okay, so let me just schedule a webinar. So we are going to schedule a webinar. So this webinar will be on history classes. History 101. So this is the name of the webinar, History 101. And let's schedule it for 29th, or let's go with 28th, okay? And it starts at 9:34 p.m. The duration is for 45 minutes. The time zone is Asia, Kolkata. Now, let me just click on schedule. Okay, so a new webinar called as History Classes, History 101 has been scheduled. So what's next? So what we're going to do here is we are going to create a new form for this particular webinar. Okay, so this is the class History 101, and let me just click on edit. Okay, so we have edit, and I'm just going to click on form, and we are just going to create a new registration form. Okay, and let me just click on design new registration form. The name of the form is History 101 form, just a random name, nothing more. The form description important. Okay, so now in the placeholder, let's start with the name. Okay, so here the name of the respondent will come. Then we have the email. Okay, and then let's go with the phone number. We're just creating your typical form. Okay, and let me just add one more field. Let's go with the address. Okay, so we have 4 placeholder: name, email, phone, as well as the address. So let me just straight away click on update. Okay, so our form is getting created. Excellent. Yes. So this is the form link. Now what I'm going to do here is we have to make sure that we integrate LiveWebinar to Pabbly Connect, and this is how you do it. So basically you have to follow the instruction. So as you can see, it is demanding that you go to the dashboard, then integration and REST webhooks. So first of all, you go to the dashboard, and then you go to the integration, and then you click on REST webhooks. Okay, so as you can see, I have already created 2 webhooks. Okay, now for your consideration, let me create a new webhook, add new webhook. Okay, so what's next? Then we have to make sure that the widget is registrant create. Okay, so the widget is registrant create. Okay, so we have changed it. The method is post, I think. Yes, and then we have to enter the webhook URL. So this is the webhook URL. You just copy this and you simply just paste it here. Okay, so we have added the event, that is widget registrant create. The method is post, and the URL, we also have added this particular URL. And so at this point, all you have to do is just click on save. Okay, so we have created one more webhook URL. Okay, so as you can see, we have integrated LiveWebinar to Pabbly Connect, and Pabbly Connect is waiting for the data. So what we're going to do here is this is the form link. Okay, attendee link. I'm just going to open this. Okay, and we are going to fill some details. So we have a guy called as 𝗪𝗵𝘆. So these are the details. The name is 𝗪𝗵𝘆. This is the email 𝗪𝗵𝘆123𝗋@gmail.com. And this is the phone number, and this is the address. So let me just click on register. Okay, so the registration has been made by a person called as 𝗪𝗵𝘆. So let's have a look. Did Pabbly Connect capture this detail of 𝗪𝗵𝘆? Yes, we do have the details. So the form name is History 101. Okay, that's great. And then we have the phone number. Okay, so this is the phone number. And then we have the address. Okay, that's cool. Then we have the email. Okay, and then we have the name 𝗪𝗵𝘆. So what we're going to do here is next, we are going to send this data to Google Sheet. Now, this next step is strictly optional. If you want, you can do it. But the idea is that I will be having a lot of webinar sessions. Okay, so let me just straight away take you to rooms. Okay, so these are the sessions we have. Some is for history, some is for English notes, and one is for COVID 4th wave precautions. So what if I want to send the data when the registrant is for history classes only? Okay, not for the English note, not for the COVID 4th wave precautions, only for history 101. So that is why I'm going to apply a filter. Now I repeat this again, this process is strictly optional. You can ignore this if you don't want. So I want to create a condition that only if the registrant is created for the history class, that data should be going to the Google Sheet. So that is why I'm going to apply a filter. Okay, filter is basically if statement. It says that if this condition happens, then only the data should flow. Now the condition is something like this. Okay, so the class is on history. Okay, so let's have a look. Do we have the class? It will be in the widget section. Widget. Okay, widget name, that is history 101. Okay, so this is about history 101. Okay, if it was English notes, it would have shown English notes here. If it was on COVID 4th wave precaution, it would have shown COVID 4th wave precaution. So the idea is that we want to send the data to Google Sheet only if the registrant is created for history 101 classes. Okay, so that is why first of all I'm going to select the label as history 101. Okay, so we have two conditions, history 101. So this is the one, history 101 is equal to, and I'm just going to copy this. Okay, I'm just straight away going to copy this and paste it here. Okay, I hope it is getting clear. If 1 is equal to 1, then only the data should flow. If 2 is not equal to 1, then the data wouldn't flow. In case if here the widget name comes as English notes, then which is not equal to history 101, the data wouldn't flow. So when I click on save and send test request, it will definitely show the condition as true. This is because the condition is indeed true. History 101 is equal to history 101. Okay, as you can see, it is showing the condition is true. If the widget name was English note is not equal to history, which is not equal to history 101, the message would have shown the condition is false and the data flow would have been stopped immediately. Okay, now I repeat this again. This process is strictly optional. If you want, then only do it. If you want the bulk data, basically means if anyone registers to any of your events, that data should flow to the Google Sheet. You can simply ignore this step. Okay, so now coming to the part where we send this data to Google Sheet. So we select the app as Google Sheets. Google Sheets it is. Now in the action event, how about we make it as add new row? So you're obviously thinking why the action event is add new row. So to explain you better, let me just create a new Google Sheet. Okay, I'm trying to explain everything from scratch. Okay, so Google Sheets it is. Go to Google Sheets. Okay, we will start from scratch. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to copy the column names, name, email, then we have the mobile and the address. I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, name, email, mobile, as well as the address. Now we have to give a name. Okay, go or let's go with history, because the details of this Google Sheet will only contain the details of the registrant who are going to participate in this lecture, History 101. Okay, so History 101 it is. Okay, so if so at this point we have the question that why the action event is kept as add new row. This is because we are going to insert the data into adjacent cells one by one. So first this field will be inserted, then this cell, and this cell. So the data will be inserted into adjacent cells one by one, thus creating a new row. Okay, I hope it is clear. So let me just click on connect. We are going with the new connection. Just click on connect with Google Sheets. Okay, so these are the series of Gmail accounts I have. Now this particular Google Sheet, that is History 101, is located in this account. So I'm selecting this one. Okay, so now Pabbly Connect wants access. Simply just click on continue. Okay, so authorization is successful. Okay, so as you can see, we have the select spreadsheet as History 101, the select sheet as Sheet 1. So this is the sheet History 101. That's pretty much awesome. And then we have the select sheet as Sheet 1. This is because there is only one sheet, that is Sheet 1. Excellent. Then we have the name, email, mobile, as well as the address. So these are the columns: name, email, mobile, as well as the address. The columns is now represented as fields. So let's start mapping. So we have the first field, that is for the name. Now, if you remember, the name of the guy was, what was the name of the guy? I don't remember. Okay, so the name of the guy is 𝗪𝗵𝘆. So this is the data we want. So we click here, and the name of the guy is 𝗪𝗵𝘆. We are just going to map that particular detail. Yes, and we have mapped it. Then we have the email. We click here, and then we have to map the name. The email. So this is the email, and we have mapped it. Then we have the mobile number. So this is the mobile number, and we have mapped it. Then we have the address. We click here, and what was the address? Okay, so this is the address. Excellent. So at this point, all you have to do is just click on save and send test request to send this data to Google Sheets. So let me do that. Okay, so the response is a positive one. So as you can see, we have the name, we have the email, we have the mobile number, and we have the address. Excellent. So the presence of this data confirms that we have a successful integration between LiveWebinar and Google Sheet. Now, before you leave, let me just explain you the whole mechanism in a nutshell. So let me just minimize this action window, and let me just minimize this action window, and let me just minimize the trigger window. So basically, this is the whole process in a nutshell. First, you integrated LiveWebinar to Pabbly Connect, and then you have established a filter. Now, this is strictly optional. You can just simply ignore it if you don't want. So the idea is that if registrant is created for the history class only, then the data should flow to Google Sheet. If otherwise, the data flow will stop. So that is why I have applied the condition. Now the third action window, or the second action window, is about the integration of Google Sheet to Pabbly Connect, and you just basically map all the details from LiveWebinar into Google Sheet. So as you can see, we do have a perfect flow of data between LiveWebinar and Google Sheet. Now the interesting thing that you have to know is once you create the workflow, all you have to do is just sit back and relax, because anytime a new registrant is created from your LiveWebinar forms, the data will be automatically collected into Google Sheets. Excellent. So not just these two apps, you can integrate a ton of applications and automate your business with Pabbly Connect. If you have any queries, please contact us at admin@pabbly.com. Also, the link of Pabbly Connect as well as the workflow is available in the description box. If you really like this video, please comment, share and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.